This is Ben from Avatara, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Connect for Web Admin Center. Your central repository as an orders coordinator for submitting orders, projects, reviewing some past support cases, and of course any dashboards that we've built out for your company to give you a little bit more insight into what Avatara is doing for your company. So currently on my local machine, but I do have the portal already brought up in my Avatara virtual desktop. So we'll go ahead and click on that Avatara button and maximize that. And of course, the online portal is at connect.avatarplatform.com. And if you haven't done so already, I would definitely recommend bookmarking that. And then if you're one of those people that lives and breathes on their desktop, I would go ahead and also create a shortcut on your desktop for Avatara Connect for Web. So you can just right click on your desktop, hit that new bar, and then add a new shortcut, and then you can just paste connect.avatarplatform.com in there, and then you can even just name it Avatara Connect or whatever you need to, and then you'll always have that on your desktop, and you can just double click and that'll launch Connect for you. Once you're there, just go ahead and enter in your email address, your password, sign in, and then just go ahead and accept that push notification that's going to come to your CC Connect app. And I've covered in previous videos how to get that set up for you. So we're in our Connect for Web dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Admin Center here, and only a select few at a company have access to this part of the Connect for Web dashboard. And so from here you can get a little bit more insight into support, orders, projects, the active user list, meaning who's going to show up on your invoice at the end of the month, what desktops do we have built out, what email addresses, and then of course any dashboards that we've built out for your company. Onboarding, once you're live on the platform, you don't really need to pay attention to if that's still on there. We can get that removed for you. The support window, though, or button, that actually gives you a little bit more of an insight into your past support case history. Of course, we have another button to chat with support and our Meet the Team document. The Meet the Team document is going to be the escalation point for any of the avenues that you interact with Avatar on a day-to-day basis. So if you're having any issues with support or any issues related to any orders or projects, we've got the manager's contact information available for our orders coordinators in that Meet the Team document. End users, 9 times out of 10, they should be reaching out to support for any issues when it does come to Avatara, and then they reach out to the orders coordinator if they do need something put in to the orders or projects workflows. The support case history is for your entire company, and so you can sort or search by any of these categories. So if you're looking for a specific support case number, you can put that in there. If you're looking for any support cases related to a specific user, you can sort by that. Any related specifically to any of the subcategories, so like software, or if you're looking for any specific escalations, you can just search by escalations. And then if you wanted a little bit more detail into any of these support cases, you simply need to click on that support case, and it'll give you a little bit more of a detailed view and some of the case notes from the support technician when they were working on that case. So a little bit more of an insight into what is going on the back end for your end users and how they interact with support. The orders workflow, so once you click on the orders button, you can get your order history, and the window looks surprisingly like our support case history. So if you're looking for any support cases or orders related to a specific user, you can search that. And then of course you can click on any one of these and it'll get you a little bit more of a detailed view on what went on with that particular order. So if you're looking for a software list for a new user, or share list, what does that user have access to? You simply click on it, and it gives you a detailed view of what you entered in that previous order. The resource manager is how you manage permissions on your for your company. So if you wanted to see what a user currently has access to, if you did want to add something to that user, or if you did want to remove something from that user, you just simply select what you want to add from the list on the left and what you want to remove from the list on the right. And then once you click submit, it'll give you a little bit of a more detailed breakdown as far as what changes are happening. And then once you hit confirm changes, all of that automation takes place automatically. The end user will need to sign out and then sign back in to their Avatara desktop, but they'll get a confirmation email instructing them on how to actually do that as well. So really nice for taking a little bit more of a detailed view into what a user has access to. And then if you hit export all, you'll get a full list for your entire company and what permissions they have that user has access to. So pretty nice if you're trying to get a little bit more of a macro view into what users have access to currently. And then if you're trying to submit a new order, you'll go ahead and click on submit an order. And then it's pretty much a click-through wizard. So if you're trying to add a new user, make changes to an existing user, reactivating a previous user, creating a new distribution group, or adding a new network share, we've got the order type for you. And then all it is you select what you want, what kind of order you wanted to perform, and then you start clicking through it. So if I'm adding a new user, identify what kind of user they're going to be, give them a name, and then where are they currently located. Then whether or not that we need to send that user any new hardware, and then how they're going to be accessing their new Avatara desktop. So if they do need a new thin client, or if they're going to be using a customer device, or if you already have a thin client, you're just reassigning it to them, all we ask is that you enter in that asset number for that thin client, so we can reassign the asset in the database. Once you've identified their access point, you'll go ahead and put in their new username, and typically that is first initial last name, and then the email is first initial last name at your company's email domain. We ask that you, just for simplicity's sake, you should keep the same naming conventions for everyone at your company. So if it's first initial dot last name or first name dot last name, just keep it the same, those same naming conventions for any new users, just to cut down on confusion down the line. Select how many or what distribution groups you want that user to have access to, and then whether or not anyone else needs access to that user's email inbox. So if somebody else, if a manager likes to monitor that email box in case somebody's out, you can always select that. And then you can grant the level of permission. So if they need full access or send as permissions for that user, you select that as well. This is the same screen for adding a new email only user as well. That's going to go ahead and perform a check on the username and email, just to make sure that those have not been used by somebody else at that company, your company, before. And then we're going to identify what software, network shares, and printers that user is going to need. In the old, we've typically done this through a text field that you end up filling out, and then you can actually save certain templates depending on that user's role. And so this really simplifies the process. Rather than remembering all the software that a user is going to need, if they're just going to be, for instance, a support person, you just select that template and it's going to autofill whatever they need access to in those fields. And then we can create an alias for that email inbox. Again, more so to do with an email only user if you're trying to create an alias for that. You click next, and then identify whether or not that user needs additional hardware. For instance, if they do need a phone or a sidecar to that phone, or an extra monitor, you can identify that there. We're going to go ahead and click next. Multi-factor authentication is now set up through each user's cell phone by logging into that CC Connect app. You can disregard that question there. And then all you need to do is go ahead and pick the date that you need that completed by. Typical end user turnaround time for just creating a new desktop user is going to be 3 business days. So the earliest it's going to let me select it, since it's after 2 o'clock now, is going to be on the 30th. Then you're going to enter in yours as the orders coordinator's phone number. So that way, if we do have any questions, we can reach out to you directly. You can identify an additional person to receive these emails in case you wanted to let their new manager know when that order is completed. You can identify a secondary person to receive those emails. And then if there's any additional information that we might need to complete that order, if you think that there's some additional information, login credentials or something for a software, you can always enter that into this additional information field. You can always expand that as well. And then you're going to go ahead and click to confirm that the information above is correct and that new user is not a replacement user, because of course we do have a specific order type for that. And then you'll go ahead and click submit. So you'll then receive a confirmation email about the telling you that we have received that order. And then once the order is completed, you'll receive a verification order saying that the order has been completed. And from there, there's a quality assurance step where that actually includes a link for you to send that back to corrections. If something was done incorrectly with that order, you can always send it back to our orders teams for correction. So you just simply click that link, put in what was wrong with it, and then our orders team will take it from there. A couple other orders that I wanted to show just in case you do have any questions. So for our existing users, so we've had somebody on the platform already, and these are all orders related to that existing user. So you just select existing user, you select which user this is related to, and then all of our order types are going to be here on the right. So if we're deactivating them, if they quit or got fired, or they just no longer need their virtual desktop, you can deactivate that permanently, that user account permanently, or you could deactivate with a replacement. Right now, if you've already got that new hire that's ready to take that person's desktop, you can deactivate with the replacement now, and that simply combines a delete order with a new user order. Or you can deactivate with a future replacement, meaning we won't wipe that desktop from this of any software. It'll still exist, and then you can simply put that user on that machine in the future. So if you've got we're still working on hiring somebody as that replacement, we can keep that desktop live for you. Name change, if somebody does get married and they just need their display name changed, we can do that. Installing a single piece of software for one of your users that we've installed for your company before, that would be an install software order. Updating a single piece of software is actually done as a project now. Updating or changing a user type. So if we had an email only user that is now going to need a desktop, we can change them from an email to a professional, or vice versa. Maybe they do have a desktop already and they just need an email account. We can do that as well. If you're adding or returning hardware for a user, if you do need to reset their password and security information. So for instance, if they forgot their password, they've gone to Connect for Web, they can't remember the answer to their security question or their PIN, or they lost their phone for trying to reset it using multi-factor authentication, you can reset it as the orders coordinator. This will send you an email with a randomized password that you can then pass along to that end user. And then once they log in to Connect for Web, they'll be able to go ahead and set that new password, set up that new security information question, so that way they don't, can reset it on their own in the future. And then a modified configurations order is pretty much a catch-all for something that it's a single user change that is not in one of those previous ones. For instance, if I do need an email alias created for myself, that would be a modified configurations order. To show you just what a delete order looks like, just so you know what we're going to be looking for when you're submitting a delete order, you can go ahead, we'll go ahead and walk through that. So you'll need to select the date that user needs to be removed from the system. Delete orders take 1 business day to complete. So if you're trying to cut off access to that user immediately, you can submit a reset password order that will reset their password. They won't be able to send any emails through Outlook or anything like that. And then, of course, we will need a delete order to back that up as well. And you can always contact support if they need to cut off that access immediately as well. So delete orders, like I said, takes 1 business day to complete. You'll want to go ahead and select this box. What are we going to do with that user's files and emails? And where should we place it? So most of our customers have a repository for past user data that they like to place. So maybe they've got an HR share with past employees, or an old employees folder, and we can just put the user profile, everything that's on their desktop and in their My Documents, into that past employees folder under their username. From here, you can also forward emails to somebody. So if you want their coworker to get any emails forwarded, we can set that up. Or if you wanted to give a specific person access to that email inbox, we can do so from here as well. So you can give them, just like allocating permissions for any email box, we can give full access or send as permissions. If the end user has any Avatara owned equipment, so a thin client or one of our laptops, we do need to know what you're going to do with that equipment. So whether or not you want to send it back, or if you're going to end up keeping it for a past or for a future employee, you can do that as well. And then, of course, anytime, I always encourage erase email from smartphones, so we can do a remote wipe of that email if they did have access to that email. And then, of course, you're just going to go ahead and click to confirm, enter in your phone number, and then hit submit. You'll receive that confirmation email in your inbox as the orders coordinator, and then as soon as it's completed, you'll get a follow-up email confirming that it has been completed. So that is your basic rundown of the orders process. Usually single user changes, anything that affects billing, so adding new users, removing users, etc. That does tie into the active user list a little bit. So anytime you're curious about how many users you have, what kind of users, you can click on that active user list, and this is an itemized version of your monthly invoice. And then if you do have any disputes about something that's showing up on your invoice, you would just simply click on that line item and then either dispute the charge or change the site if you had somebody move from one site to a different one. And then if you're disputing it, we need a little bit more information. So what is the reason for disputing this user? So maybe you already submitted a delete user order for them. This is for what month you're disputing that. So usually it's probably going to be the previous months. And then, of course, any change to your invoice is going to have a order tied to it And so if you did submit a delete order for this person, you're going to need to select which order that was for that delete, and then any additional information you'd like to include. So if it was going back a while and you want credit for any invoices reaching all the way back to May, and then you've got the delete order there. Why are they still on my invoice? So pretty straightforward when disputing an order, because of course any changes to your invoice will always have an associated order with it. Finally, we're getting into projects. So projects are anything that falls really outside of that order's workflow. So multi-user changes, site moves, adding a site, updating multiple software for users. So if you've got, everybody needs this software update, we always want to get it submitted as a project. And to submit a new project, you're just going to go ahead and click that big orange button that says Submit Project Request. You're going to enter in all of the details that we would need to complete that project. So, who, what, when, where, how, and maybe why. So, who is this project affecting? What do you guys need done? Maybe where the installer is located if it is a new piece of software that you want installed. So if you've downloaded that software already, just tell us where you placed it on your server and we can get access to that installer. Or if it's a web address for an installer for our team to go out and get, you can always include that as well. And then go ahead and put in the contact information for the best person for us to contact regarding that order. So even though you're the orders coordinator, maybe the best person to contact is going to be someone on your projects team. That's the person's contact information that you want to include there. And then any files that you want to go ahead and attach. So installers, instruction files, whatever would make it easier to get that project completed, that's what you're going to want to attach. Once the project is submitted, it's going to be reviewed by someone in our team to make sure that we've got everything that we need to complete said project. So if it's a pending approval, it'd be under the pending approval projects. Once it's been accepted, it'll move to active projects. And then once it's been completed, it'll be moved to completed projects. After a project is submitted, you'll always have somebody from our team here at Avatara reach out to you just to confirm that we received it, that we have everything we need to complete the project, or if we are missing something, they'll reach out to you about what that missing item might be for completing that project. Typical project turnaround time is about 2 weeks. So usually they're bigger picture items that require coordination and planning. So that usually isn't that big of a deal for completing those projects. And then last but not least, we have our dashboards. And so this is a really helpful tool for our customers management team. So we've got a productivity report, user password and reset status. If you're implementing a password policy, how long ago had they changed that password? RDP user experience. So this is actually measuring the metrics for the connection from the access device. So if a user is working outside the office, do they have a good internet connection? What are the current resource loads for that local machine? That gives you a little bit more insight into that end user experience. The AVA requested reboot. So how often are users rebooting their machines? If you've got a lot of people complaining about performance, but nobody's actually responding to the AVA text about rebooting their machines, that might be one of the issues. A look at the core servers that we're actually hosting for your company. And then of course the SLA dashboard is for a higher level analytical look at your current support status. So measuring support tickets and escalations and things like that. And then the productivity detail, measuring how active users are with their desktop, and when are they logging in. So if you have a remote workforce and you want a little bit more transparency into when people are logging in, when people are logging out, and how active they are, that productivity dashboard is a good one. We'll probably dive into those dashboards a little bit more in depth into a future video, but I did want to just give you guys a quick rundown of the orders portal in case you and the admin center in case you did have any questions about support, orders, projects, your active user list, or any of those dashboards and how you access them. This has been Ben McDonald with Avatara, and if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to support at 888-943-5605. Thanks.